quoting poem by Robert Southey. Poem is After Blenheim. Okay. So the word Blenheim in the poem is referring to the war of Blenheim, the war between the England and France. So how the England defeated Blenheim. Okay. So we were on second stanza. So in the first stanza, there is an old person, old farmer, old Casper. So he has done his work, and now he was sitting in front of in his lawn, okay, in front of his cottage door, and the children were his grandchildren were playing outside, okay, and he is looking at them. So these grandchildren, and by him is spotted on the green his little grandchild Wilhelmine. She saw her brother Peterkin roll something large and round, which he beside the rivulet in playing there had found. He came to ask what he had found that was so large and smooth and round. So they were playing. While they were playing, the grandson of old Casper found that something round, something large, round, smooth and round is inside the earth, okay, inside the land. And what it is? So he has found this thing beside the stream, rivulet, okay. Old Casper took it from the boy. So when he realized what it is, so old Casper took it from the boy, who stood expectant by. And then the old man shook his head. So he shook his head, and with a natural sigh. So he is shaking his head. Beginning shaking his head with regret. Okay, so with a natural sigh. It is some poor fellow's skull, said he, who fell in the great victory. So someone has fallen in the great victory. So it was great victory, and why it was a great victory? Because someone has fallen. Someone fell in this great war. So it is considered a great victory, someone's fall. I find them in the garden, for there is many here about. So there are many skulls can be found in the garden when he is plowing the garden, and often when I go to plow, the plowshare turns them out. So there are many, and why? We will find it later. For many thousand men, said he, were slain in that great victory. So now he has repeated his words at great victory. For many thousand men, said he. So these were many thousand men who were slaughtered in the great victory. Now tell us what it was about. Young Peterkin, he cries. So these grandchildren are very curious, and they want to know what happened earlier, happened that the grandfather is talking about. So young Peterkin, he cries, and little Wilhelmine looks up with wonder-waiting eyes. So they are very curious to know about this. Now tell us all about the war and what they fought each other for. So why it happened? What happened? It was the English, Casper cried. It was the English who put the French to rout. So they defeated. So who defeated? The English defeated the French. But what they fought each other for, I could not well make out. But everybody said, quoth he, that it was a famous victory. So when these children ask about what they are battling for, so the grandfather doesn't have any answer, and he is just saying that he is avoiding the children's answer, that it was just what I heard, and I'm telling you what we have been hearing for years. Okay, so these are the things. But what they fought each other for, I could not well make out. So there is these children can understand easily. The grandfather is not able to understand this, that why it happened. So it was a famous victory. My father lived at Blenheim, then yon little stream hard by. They burnt his dwelling to the ground, and he was forced to fly. So with his wife and child he fled, nor had he where to rest his head. So now he's telling about his father, who used to live at Blenheim. And what happened? The people burnt his house, dwelling to the ground, and he was forced to fly from there, and he was forced to go to the battlefield. So his wife and child he fled, nor had he where to rest his head. So his wife and child, his father's wife and child were, what happened to them? They were forced to go to the battlefield and fight for the life and fight for the nation. So you can see that how the idea of patriotism is forced here, okay, by the rulers, that they were forced to fight in the battlefield. And what happened? The wife and children were also there. So with fire and sword the country round was wasted far and wide, and many a childing mother then and newborn baby died. So these women and children were also slaughtered by the soldiers, okay, from both the sides. With fire and sword the country round was wasted far and wide, and many a childing mother then and newborn baby died. But things like that, must be at every famous victory. So it's ordinary. It's not something very horrible to him. He is just trying to say that it's ordinary. It's not a big thing to kill someone. But things like that, must be at every famous victory. So things should be like that, according to old Casper. They say it was a shocking sight after the field was won, for many thousand bodies here lay rotting in the sun. But things like that, must be after a famous victory. So it must be like that. The victory should be famous victory should be like that. That it should bring destruction and horror to people's life. Okay. So but things like that, must be after a famous victory. So thousands of men were killed and lay rotting in the sun. So there you can find out the imagery. So there is an image comes in our mind, rotting bodies rotting in the sun. Many thousand bodies were lay rotting in the sun. Great praise the Duke of Marlborough won and our good Prince Eugene. Why it was a wicked thing? Why it was a wicked thing, said little William. Nay, nay, my little girl, quoth he, it was a famous victory. So Duke of Marlborough and Prince Eugene were praised by the ruler. So they were the commanders in the war, okay, in the army of England, okay. So they were praised by the ruler. So what happened? William just reacted that why it was a wicked thing. So it is very instinctive to the child, but it's not understood by the old man. Okay, that it was a wicked thing. So he is